Now, international calls are mounting on Israel to show restraint and stop shelling civilians in Gaza, but the country apparently isn't ready for peace just yet, saying there's more to come in Operation Protective Edge. More than 90 Palestinians, mostly civilians, have been killed and hundreds injured in the offensive so far. At least 20 of those who lost their lives are children. Israel says it hit more than 100 targets in Gaza on Thursday. Many of the missiles have landed in residential areas, causing panic to ripple through the population. Journalist Harry Fear met those caught up in the violence as they brace themselves for yet more air raids.
On a visit to Gaza's main hospital, we met 4-year-old Shema al-Masri. She was injured in her abdomen. She became collateral damage in a drone strike.
The girl went to visit her sister with her parents. On the road, they came under missile fire. When she tried to avoid one, she was hit by a second. Her mother and brother were killed. She and her sister were left in a critical condition. Her sister died today, and the girl is still under God's care. No one knows if she's going to make it.
Doctors tell me they've been dealing with a biting shortage of medical supplies in Gaza for the last 3 weeks as a result of the ongoing siege. But even civilians that survive the violence suffer the mental effects of living in a war zone. Abed lives in a neighborhood of Sheikh Radwan that was targeted last night.
We were sitting by the entrance when the first missile hit the house, and the second one soon followed. We carried the sleeping children out and ran away. The children began screaming through fear.
In Gaza, dozens of Palestinians have been killed. In Israel, no one has been killed. As in recent years, this Hamas-Israel war is far from symmetrical in terms of casualties and civilian loss. It's been a traumatizing couple of days for the civilians of Khan Yunis in the south of the Gaza Strip too.
During its operation, Israel says that it's going after Hamas militants, those it alleges are Hamas militants. However, it's willing to go as far as targeting their homes. And in this case, Israel killed 6 children and 2 adults when it struck this family home. The family didn't have time to heed the warning drone missile, which arrived 4 minutes before the main strike.
We were shocked when a missile hit my brother's house. After we hurried out, our house was hit too. By the house was a children's playground, where most of the hits came.
Israel has made clear that it's not interested in restraining its operation on Gaza so long as Hamas rocket fire continues. It's a recipe for further conflict and inevitable suffering for Gaza's civilian population. A population already so beleaguered now lives in fear of even more violence in the coming days. Harry Fear, RT, Gaza.
Meanwhile, clashes have erupted between Palestinians and Israeli soldiers in the West Bank city of Bethlehem. Teenagers had been throwing rocks at the troops who fired tear gas to disperse them. Israel's actions in Gaza have forced Egypt to open its border with Palestine and take in the most seriously wounded at a local hospital. For its part, Israel has vowed to step up attacks on Gaza until Hamas stops firing into its territory.